Good morning. Uh, Unit 2 is on energy and matter. You guys probably have talked about and know a lot about energy from the past. So first task I want you to do in your groups is to discuss and answer these two questions. So book definition, energy is the ability to do work, and it manifests itself in a variety of forms. So you guys probably talked about potential energy as stored energy. Back in junior high, you might have given an example of a ball sitting at the top of a hill waiting to roll down. That's potential energy. You know that it's stored energy. Well, in chemistry, we're going to dig a little deeper and we're going to look at where is potential energy in chemicals. So we're talking about stored energy. And then when it comes to kinetic energy, we are talking about energy in motion. So those two things, stored energy versus energy in motion, you probably remember from junior high, but this year we're going to look at how does that relate to chemistry. So potential energy, the dammed water in the picture before, kinetic energy, the running water. But in chemistry, potential energy a lot of times is the stored energy in bonds. And then kinetic energy is referred to as the energy of moving particles. So, oops, wrong button. There we go. Something we got to talk about, law of conservation of energy. So anytime you see that term conservation of energy, that means we can't, or conservation means we're not going to create or destroy. We have to show where it came from and where it went. So we can't create or destroy energy. Kinetic energy has to come from potential energy that was stored somewhere or vice versa. So the main thing that you're going to hear is kinetic, when we're talking about kinetic molecular theory, is realize that kinetic molecular theory, you are going to see from this point out on, when I'm talking, when other chemists and things are talking, they will simply say KMT for kinetic molecular theory. So as temperature increases as kinetic energy increases. So those particles start moving faster and faster. So when we talk about temperature, you got to change your brain to think of temperature as me measuring the movement of the molecules in whatever substance I might be measuring, whether it's the movement of the air in the room around me. So the colder it is, the slower it might be, those particles are moving. The hotter it is, the faster those particles are moving. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about kinetic molecular theory. Watch the video. It's super short, but it kind of gives you a better visual of those molecules moving. Quickly review what you just looked at and learned in those in that video. So according to KMT, those solid particles are much closer together, and I'm just going to draw over this. So they are just barely colliding with their neighbors. Remember, way back in elementary, you learned that solids it had a definite shape. Well, the reason they have a definite shape is we say they have a strong attractive force between molecules, so they stay